Now all my flowers are in place, I'm going to do my foxgloves. So to do your foxgloves, you're going to start with a patch of glue. Don't be tempted to do your leaves just yet because they kind of act as a filler. So once we've got all of our main flowers in place, then we use the leaves to kind of fill the gaps. So make sure when you're putting your tiles down that you're putting them the right way up, because remember they have a right side and a wrong side. So foxgloves, you kind of, the points of the foxgloves, you're kind of wanting to point them towards that kind of imaginary stem that would be coming up. You're kind of going 2s and 3s, sometimes 4s on the rows and kind of stagger them as you go up. And you can maneuver them around a bit with the glue. Okay, so I'll show you when all these foxgloves are done. So flowers and foxgloves are done. I'm going to do the bee now, and I'm going to pop it up here because this one's not going to have a house number on it. For those doing the house numbers, be cautious not to cover up your screw holes with tiles. You've got to leave those clear. So my bee, I've shown you how to cut your bee, and then it's a bit of a fiddle getting it on. And because they're very little, just double check that you're not putting them upside down when you put them on. So again, same rule applies. You want a gap between each tile. And then like that. And then his little tail, not tail, stinger. And I'm going to try and get them a little bit closer together. There's still, I've done one here on the black, and I know obviously you don't see the black, but I think it still works. This one's going to have a blue background though, so you can see it well. And then use 2 of your white petals for your wings. So there's the little bee. So now we're going to do our leaves. So as I said before, we're using the leaves as kind of a fill for our background down here. I'll bring one down this way. And you're just kind of finding some places to put them. Don't worry too much. And there will be, you will end up with some little gaps that will put a little bit of background fill in. But we just try and make them work as best we can. And then once we've got all our leaves, we start with our background fill. So I shall skip to that part for you so you don't have to sit here and watch me placing leaves. So I've got that nice and full with the leaves and the flowers and the foxgloves, and then there's just a few areas that I want to put some of the background colour down this bottom part. So I've got some pieces that I've chopped up that are a bit smaller, and remember to leave the space for your holes if you're doing the house number. So I think that bit will go in there. And I've got it quite gluey, but you will be able to, once it's all dry, you can take the glue off the top of your tiles. I tend to use a bit of nail varnish remover and a cotton wool bud before grouting to make sure that the tops of the tiles are all clean. And then, so it's just about kind of finding ones that are gonna fit well. It doesn't, I mean, gaps like this, they're probably okay. I mean, I'm going to put something in them, but it wouldn't be the end of the world if you had gaps that size for your grout. Okay, I'm going to come back and do that because I want to show you how to do the main part of your fill. So you're going to do a patch of glue, and I don't want you to do too much because it starts to dry. So I'll do kind of an area like that. And especially around your edges, try and go with flat edges so that it's going to be a nice, neat finish. And then you're just finding different shapes that are going to fit and placing them in. That one a bit big, a little bit big. We'll put that one here. And that's how that works. And you just keep going. I quite enjoy this bit, but some people find this bit a bit frustrating. But you just keep going with the right pieces and get it all filled in. So your gappage wise, kind of, you'll be able to see from the printout you've got from my sample, kind of what you're aiming for. But again, don't have your tiles touching. You want a gap between them, but you don't want any huge areas for the grout to fill. You'll just get a much neater finish and a stronger finish as well, especially for those of you doing house signs, because they're going to be outdoors. But there you go. So once you've done all that, you need to let it dry for 24 hours. So the following day you'll be able to grout it. The grouting tutorial is an in-depth tutorial, so it might seem a bit long-winded. However, you kind of need it because you want to get the grouting right after putting all this effort in. The only thing that differs, because the grouting tutorial is for a mirror. So for the only thing that's really different is the fact that where your holes are for your house sign, when you get to the point where you've grouted it and you were sponging it over, you need to poke something through those holes. So don't forget to do that, because otherwise you won't be able to hang it. I tend to use, like the brush that I'm using for the glue, I'll stick that through the holes to make the holes. But that's it, and I hope you've enjoyed your workshop. And if you've enjoyed this, I've got a nice new tabletop kit as well that's available.